Welcome to Release to Results, everybody. It is our series on A Course in Miracles, going through the workbook and letting go of what comes up for us that is stirred as we're going through these lessons, to allow these lessons to really enter in, to have an experience of what's being talked about. Today's lesson 29, God is in everything I see. So we're going to be looking around us at the mundane little things here. Oh, God is in this. God is in this. God is in this. God is in this. God's in the blanket. God's in the book. God's in the cell phone. God's in the coffee. It's something that could seem silly or irreverent. There could be a lot of resistance or objection that God's in the trash can, God's in the mousetrap. Like, notice whatever comes up for you. That's the beauty of the Course in Miracles workbook. That's the beauty of releasing. We get to use whatever comes up for us. Now, letting go, releasing, surrendering to God, it's a very simple process of just noticing what's coming up for you, allowing it to be there and it starts to let go. It starts to release on its own when we just sit with it, we let it be there. So much, especially in spiritual work, there's this huge resistance to any kind of bad feelings or negative feelings or bad thoughts and this kind of thing. What we're doing is we're allowing this stuff that's just been stored to come up and go so we can have an experience what it's like to no longer have it. So in to results, we're choosing whatever we want, whatever we like to have, do, or be, and we're releasing what's in the way, that the frequency that we're on that's out of alignment with those things. So we're just doing it a little bit at a time with these Course in Miracles lessons. Today's lesson 29, God is in everything I see. This is quite simple. Just allow yourself to go along for the ride and see what comes up for you. So to begin, just let your eyes land on something in your space, in the room, in the place you're at. And whatever it lands on, God is in this. And could you notice any resisting this idea? Any objection to it? Or whatever comes up to you in looking at this thing, God is in this. And could you just welcome whatever energy, whatever feeling is coming up for you? Maybe it's resistance. God couldn't be in this. It's not in this. That's okay. Just ignoring the thoughts and allowing the feeling that's coming up for you. And could you let it go? Would you let it go? When could you let it go? And allow God to be in this or not. There's nothing you have to do, let go of. It's always optional. And could you let your eyes fall upon something else in your space? Anything's fine. Makes no difference what it lands on. And looking at that, could you say the idea of the day to yourself? God is in everything I see. God is in this. Just naming the object. And is that not true? Does it seem like God's not in this? Is there any refusing or pushing away, resisting the idea of the day that God is in this? And that's okay. Without making right or wrong of it, you just notice the energy that comes up for you, the feeling. Could you make that feeling bigger? Let it come up more. Whatever is coming up for you. It's not necessary to label it. And could you release this feeling, this energy? Would you release this feeling, this energy? When could you release and let God be in this thing that you're seeing or no? Just allowing what's happening for you. It's okay. And letting your gaze fall upon something else in your space. Anything. Tissue box, a trash can. Makes no difference. God is in everything I see. God is in this. And could you notice any objection to this idea? Any refusal or denial? Any wrestling with God being in this thing? And without judging or moralizing what's coming up for you, could you go behind these sounds, words, pictures in the mind and just notice what's coming up? Welcome the feeling to move. Could you allow what seems to be happening for you? And could you surrender this energy, this feeling? Would you surrender? You never have to. It's okay to keep it. You're free. Just a yes or a no. When could you surrender? Now? Later? Never? Anytime's fine. And God is in everything I see. What's something else in your space? Could you look at it? And just saying the idea for the day God is in everything I see. God is in this, whatever it is. And anything that comes up for you looking at this, maybe it seems silly or senseless. God's in this. Just noticing the energy that's arising from storage. Could you open to it, even embrace this feeling that's coming up for you, and ignore the thinkingness? Just noticing this feeling. Could you feel it more? And could you let it go? Would you let it go and let God be in this that you see? And maybe you see it, maybe you don't. It's okay. Takes what it takes. This is a gentle, year long process. and allowing your gaze to fall upon something else in this space, whatever it is. God is in everything I see. God is in this chair or whatever you're looking at. And perhaps something comes up for you. Maybe it seems like a joke, funny, or there's some resistance or rejection. Whatever comes up for you, could you allow it without judging it or moralizing about it? Could you let yourself feel this feeling and just let the thoughts scroll by without clicking on them, stopping them, and just come back to the feeling? And could you release this feeling, this energy? Would you release? Always optional. When could you release and let God be seen in this thing? And letting your gaze fall upon something else in your space. God is in everything I see. So that means God is in this doorknob or whatever you're looking at. God is in this. And could you open up to what comes up for you behind this thought that God is in this? Maybe it seems senseless, irrational, though it's going to be whatever comes up for you. Could you notice how that feels behind that thought, that seeming? And without making true or false of it, you just notice that feeling. Open up and let the energy move. Could you feel it just as it is without trying to change it or make it different? And could you surrender this energy, this feeling? Would you surrender? When could you surrender? And are you seeing God in it? It's okay if not. And it's okay if you are. Just gradually letting this process work upon you, taking it easy, letting your sight land upon something else. God is in everything I see. God is in this hat, these headphones, whatever you're looking at. God is in this. And allowing whatever comes up for you. Maybe there's a wanting to see God in this. Whatever is coming up, could you allow it? Could you just acknowledge, even welcome, or just notice the feeling behind the thoughts? Could you see if there's more of that feeling that you could feel in this moment? And could you release this energy, this feeling? Would you release this energy? When could you release this energy and let God be seen in this? It's a letting. All the energy clears as we allow it to be there and just let it happen and let it go. Nothing you really have to do. And could you allow your gaze to fall upon something else? God is in everything I see. God is in this, whatever you're looking at, naming it. God is in this. And noticing whatever comes up for you, feeling wise, energy wise. Maybe there's a wanting or a desire to see God in this. It's going to be whatever's there for you. And could you just notice that feeling behind the thoughts? Could you allow it to come up without making good or bad of it? Just a feeling, just some energy. And could you let it go? Just a choice, yes or no. Either way is fine. You're never forced to do anything. Would you let it go if you could? When could you let it go? Let God be seen. And God is in everything I see. So it doesn't really matter what you look at in the space, just allowing your gaze to fall upon something else. And whatever you're looking at, God is in this. Naming it, God is in this thermostat. Whatever it is you're looking at. And could you allow whatever comes up for you, whether it's resisting that idea or really wanting it, really wanting to see God in it? And could you welcome the feeling you notice, you feel in this moment? Could you even welcome more of it, feeling more of it? And could you surrender this feeling? Would you surrender it? Turn it over. When could you surrender? And let God be in this. Maybe even see it, not just an idea. And it takes what it takes. The idea for today is explaining nothing is separate, everything's together. And it can take some time to allow God to be in even mundane objects with all these concepts and ideas of everything being separate here and there, different people, different spaces, different things. And it's just a gentle starting to let go of the energy of separation and to allow God to be in everything we see. Thank you so much for releasing with us as we go through the Course in Miracles. We'll do it again tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. These recordings are available for you at any time. So you could use this later in the day because it's recommended to do this lesson about 6 times. And just on the hour, glancing about, God is in everything I see. Could you allow yourself to just play with, to flow with, to easily experience this lesson? God is in everything I see. And we do a lot more releasing, a lot more letting go, not just on the Course in Miracles topics, your topics. What would you like to release on? Well, we've got over 100 live sessions every single month to release what's coming up for you and also to get to experience what other humans have been carrying and release that. You'll get 14 days free access to the 100 live sessions, hundreds of session replays, our community of people who are committed to releasing, and I'll even send you the 3 books we use in our mastery sessions: Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, and Transcending the Levels of Consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins, and The Sedona Method, Your Key to Lasting Happiness, Success, Peace, and Emotional Well-Being by Hale Dwoskin. We'll send you all those for free. Unlock greater happiness and freedom in any area of your life at releasetoresults.com. Look forward to seeing you in the live sessions and have the best day you can. Thanks for releasing. It's great service to the all. We're not separate. When you let go of negative energy, you're letting go for everyone. Thank you so much. Have the best day you can.